I have a full face of makeup on, but no eye makeup. That could only mean one thing, and if you read the title, which you probably did, because otherwise why should you click on that video? Just kidding. We're doing looks with the new Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice Palette in my video, the You Don't Need That Shit video. I think it was part 6. I talked about this palette, was it part 7? I don't know, but there was one where I talked about this and I was very indecisive about will I get this or will I not. And the reviews that I saw didn't make it better. Actually, it was like, oh, I need that. And the other one was like, nah, I don't need that. You see, I decided, and to be honest, seeing this palette now in real life does not make it better. I'm still confused about the color story. And what we are going to do in this video is I will be doing some swatches for you. I will be doing one eye look completely in this video, and this eye I will be doing as a short form video either on Instagram or TikTok, because I don't think I will be able to edit it down to a minute. Just took down the lighting a bit so that you can see the palette. You have one row with a range of light to more darker like duo and multi-chromes. Then we have a row from light to dark cool toned matte shades, and then we have this super duper random row with yellow, purple and green. And here you have all the swatches. So the first thing that I actually want to bit criticize on that, and I don't want to bash, but this palette is factory made. Like, this is not hand pressed anymore. There's a big drama going on. Like, I'm not going into that by any means, but the outer packaging feels super nice, but every single pan in here is loose. I know this is a magnetic palette and you are able to take them out, but why is this loose? Like, the pans spin when you touch the shadow. This is a no-go for me. So for this first look, we're using Brulee, and I just apply this as base color, like usual I do that. I'm now using Sticky Date and make this my transition shade. Very simple. I have to admit that yet I'm still confused. I don't get this color story. I just don't. A lot of you commented on the video, and I also had comments on Instagram, and I don't get it. I just, am I dumb? Am I not artsy enough to see why this is a good color story? I just don't. But you know, the curiosity was just so big, I needed to see this in person. I'm now going in with Mint, and I apply this on the inner crease part. I bring this light to the center of the crease and blend that into the transition shade, basically. I don't want to go on too dark for this first look. So I'm now using Mustard. This is a very, very soft shimmer shade. And I apply this on the outer third. I'm now using Fennel, and I tap this on the inner third. And now I'm taking Vanilla, and I basically apply this on the center of both. And blend them together. Am I crazy? Or is this getting mushed into one color? Like, I do see that this is darker and that this is another texture, but now with the vanilla shade in the center, it kind of mashes all into one shade. I do have a bit of fallout going on, but that's no problem if you know how to use a clean spoolie. So I'm using Sticky Date on a smudger brush again and just smudge this along my lower lash line. And I'm getting back into Mint, and I basically blend out the like opposite corner to the inner crease part. Like that. Back into Vanilla, I apply this as inner corner highlight. And there you have the first look finished, but without mascara. And this is now the finished look with mascara, and in the meantime I also created this look. So for the second look, I used brownie, sticky date, star anise, basil, taffy, licorice, lavender. Yeah, that is. Did I also use gumdrop? No, I didn't. Okay, let me just get one thing out of the way. I am, since I tried the Into the Night palette, kind of in love with the formula of Glaminatrix. I do think these are really, really pretty. I can see where the formula is kind of not really at its best yet, like taffy, gumdrop, and mint. The pastel shades are very chalky. Like even when I swatched these with a finger, I had chalks of pressed powder that was still sitting on my arm, and I just like blew them away and then it looked fine, but it's not the best formula. This middle row I think is absolutely stunning. The shade Licorice did not swatch as good, but it blended really, really nice for this eye look. I totally enjoyed that. This row of shimmers here, again, this is like your typical, I feel like this is your typical indie brand multi-chrome formula, especially Mustard is that. Very, very crumbly. But again, if you know how to work with that, that is absolutely no problem. But don't expect like a cream-like metallic formula that you might find in Natasha Denona. Indie brand formulas are a bit different, but by any means not bad or worse or whatever. I am more in love with Basil than I thought I would, because this is one of those shades that I like to call the oil slick shades. The spilled oil in a puddle shade. This is exactly what this looks like. Vanilla and fennel, and in combination with mustard, what I wear on this eye just disappointed me a lot, because if you look at them single, swatched single, side by side maybe, they look all so stunning. Vanilla and fennel are much more similar even in the swatches than I thought, but it's fine, it's okay to me. But you see on this eye, like they all kind of blend into one shade. The only difference between this part and this part of the lid is that the outer part is just a bit more dark because of the darker base that Mustard has. But if I did not show you, you probably cannot tell that these are 3 different eyeshadow shades. All in all, the Sugar and Spice palette from my first impression standpoint is pretty. I was more blown away with the Into the Night palette, I'm honest, and I'm so confused. I don't understand this color story. I don't understand the Sugar and Spice theme. This is not Sugar and Spice to me. I don't know why. Somebody commented that this is like a real take on Sugar and Spice, because a lot of the other brands who do this have a warm take. I would not call this a real take on Sugar and Spice, it's a different take. And if you just ignore this row of pastels, this as a 10-pan palette would be awesome. A neutral sugar palette. But Sugar and Spice does not make sense with this row to me. If they would have included, for example, you know what? I can even deal with the yellow and the mint. They kind of make sense. I'm probably thrown off the most by the lavender. If they would have exchanged the 2 lavender shades with blue based and therefore very cool toned reds, that would make sense to me. That would totally change the palette, and that would be, in my opinion, a better take on a Sugar and Spice theme. That could be maybe because I'm currently obsessed with red eyeshadow. I think it's not. Like even a teal would have made more sense than lavender. Can you create beautiful looks with this palette? Absolutely. I mean, even though I'm not like the most satisfied with this eye, it is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. And this, can the camera please pick up the shifts that I see in real life? This is like a unexpected take of a rainbow lid. I love this. This looks like a freshly appeared rainbow after a rainy day when the sun is coming out. I'm in love. And you know, I'm not a matte eyeshadow inner corner girl, but I love this pop of yellow from Taffy. I don't actually have a lot of yellow eyeshadow, so this is a welcomed addition to my collection. Maybe, that's just my conspiracy theory, maybe Glaminatrix did this on purpose. Maybe they did this because they knew that Sugar and Spice as name will confuse the people a lot when they see the palette. As far as I can see, a lot of people seem to agree on Sugar and Spice. Again, I do not. But on me it worked. This is definitely not a palette that will, when I will rank, and yes, I plan to rank every eyeshadow palette that is sitting there, it's over 100. By the end of the year, I think this will not range in the top 10, no. But this will probably range in the top 50, like in the first half of my collection, because this is a good eyeshadow palette. And I see actually myself using this more often than I thought I would when I saw just the promo pics. Now that we're done with this video, tell me, did you get this? Because I saw that this was sold out in like a day or even less, and I was like, what the fuck? And even on Monolith Shop, this was sold out in an hour or so. It was really fast. People went crazy over this. But did you get this? Were you able to grab it? And if you did, how do you like it? Let me know. If you already have done looks with this palette, send them over. Please give me them over on Instagram. I love to see your takes with this palette. I do have a friend from the Instagram channel Blush Frenetic, and we had a nice conversation about this palette because she also ordered this on Monolith. And I am so curious on how she is going to do her looks, because she has a completely different take on makeup than I have, and that is just so wonderful to see all of that. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.